Three, two, one.
Hello, we are live
Hello.
for the second time
Yes.
today, isn't that right, João?
Yes. So happy to be here for the second time.
So good, we had to come back. I want to say hello to everybody who's joining us. Drop a line in the chat, say hello. We want to see who's around. How are y'all doing? João, how are you doing the second half of the day?
Doing super fine. Super excited to continue our conversation. I mean, not continue, but continue the theme of the Octo Sparks of this month. I know you
Yes.
are going to talk more about it later, but I'm super excited.
No, thank you for the reminder because this is the second stream, so we need to say some things again, which is that we are really excited to be starting this new initiative that Ron just mentioned, Octo Sparks. We're really hoping to connect more with the community around a different theme each month, and we're starting off with celebrating where we're from. So we'll be talking a little bit about that, about our background, making projects related to the theme. And really, what we're hoping is that you all also are inspired to make projects, celebrate where you're from, share it with us on social media. Oh, we're getting some hellos in the chat. Let's see. Game Fo 5, hello. Hola, Lula. Lula says hello, Thais and
Lula.
João. Jenny says hey. Hey, Jenny. Ada says hello. Ada joining us for the second time today. Welcome back. And hello, Lorraine. In Spain now, it's 11 p.m. Oh my gosh, you must be pretty tired. It's a pleasure to have you. Um, so
Yeah,
nice.
well, Thais, one thing that we can mention is we decided to have two different live streams today because of the time zone, right? Because we
Mm-hmm.
want friends to come, and for some of them it's early in the day, for others are late. So two live streams in different times will help everyone to be able to be here.
Yeah, to join at a time that's convenient, especially for we imagine maybe a lot of our Brazil friends would be joining in for this conversation. So this is a good time where it's like after work in Brazil, um,
Exactly,
for people or after school for the kids that are joining us.
exactly.
So for people who don't know you, João, do you want to do a short little introduction? What do you do right now in your life? Where do you live? Where are you from?
Yes, sure. So, hello everyone. Officially, hello. I'm originally from São Paulo, Brazil, but today I'm joining from Madeira Island, which is a small island here close to Portugal, Europe. So, I've been working with kids, creating projects using Scratch and other robotic kits for quite some time. That's one of my passions. And nowadays, I work for the Brazilian Creative Learning Network in Brazil.
Can you say more about the Brazilian Creative Learning Network? What kind of work do you do?
Sure, sure. So the Brazilian Creative Learning Network is a grassroots movement that promotes and supports the implementation of a playful, creative, personal, relevant, and inclusive learning for students, teachers, and yeah, it's we have so many good initiatives. For example, we promote the Scratch in Brazil. We also promote OctoStudio in
Mm-hmm.
Brazil, and we have like regional hubs where teachers can join and talk with each other about their practices. Really good. I really
Yeah.
enjoy working for BCLM.
Just a couple months ago, we were at the BCLN conference, and it was so great to see educators and from all over Brazil, and just like so many different talks and workshops and activities, and like the energy around connecting on creative learning was really amazing to see. Yeah, it was good to see you then too. Miss you, friend. I was gonna tell
Yeah.
people in the chat because maybe some people don't know that I'm also from Brazil. I'm from Recife, Brazil, the Northeast, the best part in my opinion. And it's funny to be sort of like on a Zoom call with João speaking in English because usually if it's just me and him, we're speaking in Portuguese.
Yes.
In Portuguese, I would say my brain tá bugando. It's a bug in my brain right now.
Yeah, we were talking before the live stream that usually we associate a person with a language, right? So it's pretty weird when we are here speaking English, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's good.
That's cool. Okay, so I thought also we would start. So the theme, celebrating where we're from. We're gonna make a project about it together. A very sort of low key, structured project that's easy for people to follow along with if they want to make one as well that are watching. But I also made a project last week around the theme that I'm really excited to share with people. So maybe I can just show a little video of it. It has a prop, and I forgot the prop at home. So we're gonna share the video. This is about the mangroves where I'm from in Recife. It's a city built really in the mangroves, and it's really biodiverse. It's one of the most biodiverse regions in the world. So this is a project to celebrate that. But I guess the audio isn't working, right? Do you hear the audio?
I can't.
That's too bad. Oh, it is working? Okay, cool. I don't hear the audio, but y'all can hear the audio, so that's good. Yeah, so just celebrating all that you can see in the inside the mangrove, above and below the water. Um, let's take a look in the chat also. Hello, everybody. A big hug from Mexico. Is it cold? Oh, yeah, they can hear it. Lula, it's very cold here today. It's been snowing all day. um, let's see. While we're also getting settled in, I want to see who else is in the chat. So I'm going to pose a question in the chat. To keep in the theme of celebrating where we're from, I would love to know what's your favorite local food? You know, something that's unique to your country or to your state or to your region, that you really would love to share with people. Ron, do you have an easy answer for that?
Yes, I have a provocative answer
A
actually.
provocative
Uh,
answer?
yes, I would say that in São Paulo we have the best pizzas in the
Oh,
world, but I know my Italian
I've heard
friends
of
will
this
disagree.
controversy. Yeah, the only reason the Italian friends are not here in the chat saying no way is because it's too late over there right now. But we can expect some comments in the YouTube video later.
Yes, yes.
Lula loves black mole. Yes, I love mole sauce. It's so good. Vero also says tacos with guacamole. Yum, yum, yum. I don't know. I think for me, maybe this is bad because I just had a cute little crab in my project celebrating the biodiversity, but I love crab, and we have a blue crab in Recife that's like it's a mangrove crab, and I think it's so delicious to have like fresh seafood when I'm back home. That's like my favorite thing to eat there.
Delicious.
Eric is sharing also a lot of great Polish food in his hometown of Cleveland. Very cool. And black mole comes from Oaxaca or Puebla. Yeah. Mexico has a lot of very cool, distinct regional cuisines. I actually just found a big book of illustrated Mexican recipes by region in like a little free library. That's just a tangent. But Lula, I'm gonna send you some pictures of it later because it's so beautiful. Um, so maybe let's go into like we can start making a project low
Hmm.
key. We can keep chit chatting. Oh, Lula said
Yeah.
chilaquiles. Remember, Thais? Yes, Lula made us chilaquiles when she visited last time. Oh, it was so good. And also lots of different salsas. Oh, this says Spanish food like omelette with potatoes. Yeah, I've had that too. Right? It's like not a quiche, not an omelet, but something in between. Okay, so I'm gonna change my language to Portuguese. That fits the theme. Also, if anyone in the chat has a question for João, or for me, or
Yes.
for Eric, who's here behind the scenes, for OctoStudio in general, please let us know. So, the theme for this project, I was thinking it's, celebrating where we're from, celebrating where we live,
Hmm.
maybe, because I'm and I want to think about when a friend comes to visit you, is there some place that you're really excited to take them to, usually? And so this could be like a restaurant that you really like, the library that's very beautiful, a park that's near your house, whatever it is. So let's think of this place that you want to invite, that you would really want to invite your friend to, and use that as our backdrop. And I'm going to pose the same question to the chat. Is there a
Mhm.
place that you like to take your when friends or family from out of town come to visit that you like to bring them to? Don't be too specific with the place. Like we don't need a name and an address, and then we know exactly where you live. You know, it could just be like a bakery near my house or something like that. But I would love to know if you were to invite a place to come visit a friend to come visit you. What place would you send in like a little invitation? So let's see. I have a picture of. I actually took this picture when I was coming back from Recife, but I think it's cool because it really shows the mangrove and the city. I know it's not a specific place, but this is what I'm using as my backdrop. What are you using as your backdrop, João?
Yeah, I'm from São Paulo, right? A huge city in the South America, Brazil. And one of the things that I like to bring people to feel the energy is the Paulista Avenue. I know it's not like something so different. It's just like an avenue with a lot of lights and traffic, but I really enjoy the energy from there. So I chose a picture that represents the Police Avenue at night.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of lights and yeah, I,
There's always a
I
lot
always
happening there, right? Like
exactly a lot
street
of things.
performers and different groups of
Yeah,
people. Yes.
that's one thing that I like about Police Avenue. If you go like Sunday morning, afternoon, you'll see a lot of artists performance in that place. If you go at night, a lot of uh, bars and things to have fun. Yeah, it has an option for everyone there.
That's great. Here you go. Eric is sharing. For me, I love the Charles River Esplanade. You can walk along the river and see great views of Boston. Especially, I feel like the sunset over the Esplanade is so nice. The sunrise, also, if you're up early. Ooh, Vero says, if you come to my country, I invite you to visit the pyramids in Teotihuacan. How is the pronunciation, Vero? Teotihuacan. In Bilbao, in the north of Spain, any walk close to the sea. Oh, sounds so lovely. One starting in Puente Colgante, a great and beautiful bridge. I want to come visit you, Ada, and go walk by the beach. Okay, and so then let's think of you already have an emoji. Okay, I have to pick an emoji. So I'm inviting my friend to come to the swamp. That's why I got a eye view picture of the swamp of the mangrove. I feel like I have to pick a character that fits, right? I'm gonna go into the animals category. Mm, what do you think,
Yeah,
Jean?
yeah, I decided to pick the guitar because, like I said, there are lots of things to do, and one of the things is the music. People can go there to listen to good music, some shows. So yeah, I'll start with a guitar.
Okay, I'm gonna do the crab, but I'm also gonna do something that I don't know if all of our viewers know about, because like I said, in Recife we have blue crabs, and the emoji here is a red crab. So I'm gonna edit the emoji color. So if you can, the sprite color. So if you go into the sprite menu and you tap on the pencil, you're in the editor. And so I want to make this crab be blue. So I'm going to pick a dark blue color and then the paint bucket. And I'm going to tap everywhere that I see like a dark red. Let's see. Tap, 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 tap. I'm going to pick a slightly lighter blue and do the other reds. And then I'm going to pick this light blue for the body. and just the lightest one for the highlight. And now we have like a whole new sprite.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I find myself doing this quite a lot actually. The other day I was making a cake related project and I wanted to make a chocolate cake instead of a vanilla cake, and it's so easy to just go in and edit your colors.
Mm-hmm.
You can edit you can like move pieces of the sprite around too, so that's cool if you ever want to make something look like it's animated. That's an idea. Oh.
You
Wolfpack's
know,
Playhouse.
Paisman?
Hi. How are you guys? We're good. Thanks for joining us. Okay. Let's see. Oh, we have more questions to chit chat about, right? So one of the things that I wanted to ask was about your childhood, João. So growing up in São
Mm-hmm.
Paulo, what sorts of things did you like to do for fun? How did you like to play? Games, just
Mm-hmm.
activities? Maybe talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I would say that one of my favorite things that I love to do when I was a kid, I know it's gonna sound Greek, but I love to open things, electrical things, just to see how they work, like radios, TV, everything that was kind of broken. I always love to open it and see how it works. So since a young age, I was kind of obsessed with
And what did your
electronic
parents say about all
devices.
that?
They find it quite funny because my father also loves to do similar things. Of course, they didn't he didn't have the same resources as I had when I was a kid. So he used to like light some lamps using batteries, but
Mm.
I was more like advanced because I had electricity at home, so I was able to try things and learn how they work. But that was not the only thing that I loved to do when I was a kid. I also loved to code, but I didn't have like a computer at home, so I used to read books about coding, and I also took some coding classes when I was 12 years old. So
Mm.
I was
What was
always
your first? Do
passionate
you remember
about.
what was that first programming language? Because it's before Scratch, so.
Yeah, a few years before Scratch, I would say. The first book that I read was about assembly, you know,
Wow.
but
Wow. That's
it was
tough.
yeah, but the book was meant for adults. But
Yeah.
that was the first time that I saw some coding languages. But
Mm-hmm.
then when I was 12 years old, I took some basic programming language classes. Yeah, it's a very old
Mm-hmm. I heard
language.
of
No
it.
one, yeah, now in the past 20 years, we have like Visual Basic that people use. It's similar to what we use in the Excel macros for Excel.
Mm,
A very old
yeah.
language.
Yeah, growing up, I also got into coding really young. I got into coding when I was like 11 or something like that, or 12, at the height of MySpace. Because I don't know if people remember MySpace, or even for the young people, if they were even around when MySpace was a thing. But you could have your own profile, and you could decorate it however you want with HTML and CSS. So I remember people used to have like really fun, colorful backgrounds and like fire gifs and sparkles and cool fonts and things like that. And you would change all of that with code. And I actually really remember sometimes I would see something on somebody's profile that I liked, and I was like, "Oh, I wonder how they did that." And you could do like inspect code, right? And
Hmm.
that was the way that I learned to code. Was I was like, "Oh, I want to copy things into my profile," and it was all CSS, and I felt like I had to learn it to figure out how to use it. Um, oh, I want to say hi, Gia. Gia saying hi in the chat. Welcome. And Lula's also saying, João, I was grounded almost every day because I used to grab the ones in the kitchen and the record player. I think when you were talking about opening up
Yeah, open up.
electronics.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And Lula used to code in Logo. Mm. Oh, and Vero, I like the crab. Yeah, so let's see. Maybe we can make one more addition to our project here. So, okay, so the next thing is we're gonna think about some sound. Oh, you're way
Yeah.
ahead of me, I see.
Yeah,
Oh, we're gonna think
I was
about
going
some
to
sound. What sounds did you pick?
yeah, I was going to mention that when you pick the guitar, it comes with this sound, right? But you can choose the other ones. So I can choose between some, how do you say that? The notes, the
I
music
think it's a
notes.
note, yeah.
Yeah, so I was trying to do some compositions here using the notes available. Let's see how it sounds. It's too slow. I'm gonna change the pace.
Sometimes I think I've done something like this before and I had to sort of like crop the sound file,
Hmm.
so it's like there's like no space. There's a long tail of ring. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
that'll let's try
Yeah.
that.
I'm doing it right now. Reducing
Yeah.
to 1 second.
Meanwhile, I really have to think about a sound because the crab doesn't make a sound. So if anyone in the chat has a
Maybe
good sound idea. Oh, like
the
yeah. What's up? I'm gonna need to do some Foley sound effect. Is this kind of like crab claw? Yeah, I'm gonna do this one.
it sounds amazing.
I'm gonna record these little scissors. Oops. Let's see how that sounds. Snips. Oh, that kind of sounds like a crab. Oh, I'm gonna record again. I think I got a little bit of your. Oh no, that was
Oh,
you playing
sorry.
the sound just now. No, I did it. And then let's see. Maybe if I make it slower. Yeah, I like that. Let's see. Snips. Okay. Let's see. And then what should we do next? Okay, I have a topic. I'm going to. Oh, actually, I'll show you. I'll show it on this project. I'm gonna add this background because this is like a little Easter egg about OctoStudio, which is we thought a
Hmm.
lot about what backgrounds to include in the app. We wanted to have sort of a representation of places that could both be from all over the world or from anywhere around the world, right? We wanted kids to be
Mm-hmm.
able to tell stories that felt like it was places that they could see themselves in, that they recognize, but not make something that was so obviously like only one place. Like, we can't have the Golden Gate Bridge because that's really just in San Francisco, for example. So, do you want to share a little bit of the story about this background, Joan? I know you have some. Yeah, we're gonna go into landscape mode. Sorry about that, Eric. But yes, this one.
This one, okay. So this one was a background that was I took this picture in a neighborhood here in São Paulo called Beco do Batman, which means like Batman's Alley. It's a place that there is no house there, only the back of the houses. So it's like a place with a lot of walls that artists used to go there to like draw some paintings on the walls. And in the beginning, it was only like non-famous artists, street artists. And this place became so famous that nowadays it's like a part of tour guides to visit São Paulo.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This picture I took like 8 years ago, I think, And nowadays, if you go there, it looks more like an open museum with lots of beautiful paintings on the walls. And one thing that I really enjoy about this picture is it's similar to many other places around the world.
Yeah.
Just people that have visited this specific place in São Paulo will notice that's the Batman's Alley. But I know people can relate to that picture in many other countries, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this could be in Argentina, this could be in the US, this could be in Germany, it could be in so many places.
Mhm.
It's very cool. It's cool that you have this like contribution in the app, like a picture that you took. Don't you think
Yes.
so? I like
Yeah.
there's a voice recording that's my voice, and I always think it's cool that I'm like, oh my gosh, I have something of me in the app. That's very fun. Let's see what's happening in the chat. I see people having a discussion, Wolfpack and Jenny, about adding controls so you can do like arrow controls in a game. That's a cool idea. I've seen a lot of people do even like with Beam Block, have one phone that is a control and another phone that is a
Yes.
game. That was a really cool thing
Mhm.
that I saw from, I think, some Kara students. I don't know if Kara's in this live stream as well. Yes. Okay, so then we're making our an invitation for a friend to come visit us. So what would you say? What phrase would you say to entice your friend to come?
That's a good one. I think I'm gonna use the speak block for that, so everyone can listen to the how it sounds, the voice sounds in Portuguese from Brazil, because it depends on the language that you have,
Yeah,
they will pronounce it differently.
that's a good idea. I like that. I'm gonna also at the same time make my crab maybe move, make it a little more interesting. Use the go to block. Go here. And then go back. I'm gonna make that happen a few times. See what that looks like. Well, that's a little too fast for me. That's better. Do you want to share your project in landscape, Joe?
Yeah, it's not finished yet,
Oh,
but
so far. Let's do a so
so far.
far.
Okay, let's see in the landscape.
And yeah, I want to hear
Uh,
what it sounds like too.
let's see the sound. I haven't tested before. Let's see how it works.
Olá, amigo. Venha me visitar.
I'm
Oh,
still working on it,
cool!
but it's yeah,
Olá,
it's getting
amigo. Venha me
Olá,
visitar.
amigo, venha me visitar.
Oh, that's that's great. Let's see. Checking the chat, Vero says we can make a story about the blue crab traveling all over the world. That's true because my first background was in Recife, and then my other background is in São Paulo. Uh, Gia says my school is really important to me. I love that. I love that you love your school. That's so good. You're there a lot, so you better like it, right? It's good that you like it. Oh, Carol has joined the chat. She says, existe amor em São Paulo. There is love in São Paulo. Let's see. João, maybe this is an invite for you to come visit me in Recife. I'll start with the São Paulo background and then be like, but what if?
Oh, yeah, I would love to. I'd love to. I never been to Recife. So yeah.
You have to come. Now would be a great time to come if either of us could go because it's Carnaval season. It's so much fun.
Mm.
The best Carnaval in Brazil, my opinion.
Another controversial topic, right?
Yeah.
Claiming they have the best carnival in Brazil.
We have we have two carnavais in one because we have the twin cities, right? Olinda and Recife. They're two cities next to each other that each have a really good carnaval. Olinda is the more like historic, you're walking through beautiful architecture, really old architecture streets during the day. And then Recife has like the really cool music shows. Usually artists from all over the country come during the nighttime. It's great. Okay, so I'm gonna start. I'm gonna walk around and then I'm gonna go to Recife as a crab. I'm gonna
That's a great.
I'm putting myself in the perspective of our crab friend. I'm gonna take away this repeat block. No longer pleased with it. Snips. Snip, snip. And then what should I say to invite you? I'm gonna use the text bubble. And I'm gonna say, venha conhecer Recife.
Come to visit Recife.
This is reminding me of another thing because conhecer in Portuguese is also like know, to know or to learn
Mhm.
or something. So it's like come
Mhm.
to know Recife. And that reminds
Yeah,
me of another discussion topic, which is the languages in OctoStudio, right? We have 20, is it 25 languages now? Somebody correct me.
25 plus languages.
25 plus languages in OctoStudio, including Portuguese. And João, you were a big part of getting that translation. Not just getting the translation, but getting the translation really early, right? So, do you want to talk a little bit
Yeah.
about translating to Portuguese and maybe some stories about like, a lot of thought goes into it.
Yes, sure. So one cool thing about OctoStudio is we had the chance to do some research here in Brazil before the app was launched. So one of the things that we need to do the play tests here in Brazil was the app translated to Portuguese. So
Mm-hmm.
all the translation work started pretty early in the OctoStudio development. As soon as we started testing the blocks with kids, we noticed some ways to improve the translation. There are quite some blocks really hard to translate to Portuguese because even though the name in English, the words in English is different in Portuguese, they would be translated as the same. One of the two blocks that happened was the touch block and the tap block.
Mm-hmm.
Naturally, we would translate that to tocar, which is a Portuguese word. And then we realized that we translated two different blocks with the same
Yeah.
word. So
Yeah. One is
the
like
kids
when
could
you touch the
understand.
screen or when you touch the sprite, and one is when two sprites touch each other. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, so that was one that we have to talk to a lot of educators and kids to find the best word to use in Portuguese for those blocks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
And yeah, I was going to say that is also another one, the beam block. This is pretty
oh,
hard to translate to Portuguese
I
um,
remember that one
because
was really hard.
yeah. We also want to choose short words in Portuguese. Usually, the words in Portuguese are longer than the English ones.
Mm-hmm.
But if you use like a really long one, it's kind of hard to read.
And it
So,
doesn't even fit in sort of the design, right? It's hard to fit long
yes,
words in the design. It's so much work goes into translating. It's not just the translating, it's also like there's so much visual stuff that is related to it.
exactly.
There's a big effort
Yeah.
between like people who speak the native language, and like the our designers on the team and the engineers on the team. It was a lot, but so worth it. Because
Yeah.
especially, a big barrier for people to learn coding is that so many programming languages are in English. Even just
Mm-hmm.
keywords in it, function, loop. You think that that doesn't make such a difference, but there's that barrier. First, people have to understand this word in a new language, and then they're not gonna have that sort of, you know, innate understanding of a concept that comes from seeing that concept in your language. So even something like a loop might be really hard to understand in Portuguese because you're just sort of like, how does this relate to repetition or something like
Mm-hmm.
that? Yeah. Yeah, big shout out to all the volunteers who helped translate OctoStudio. Thank you. All right. I want to add something to my project. What do you think, Joel?
So you have sound, you have an invitation, the
I changed
crab
the
is moving.
background.
Oh my,
Maybe I need another sound, like when during the
crab
text bubble.
arrives.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. A fun sound. What does this one say? Oh, you know what it is that I need? I need one of these.
true.
Yeah, I need one of these fun ones, like samba. There we go. So I'm gonna go into landscape mode. Are you ready to share your project,
Mm-hmm.
Joel?
I think so. I think
Okay.
so.
So I'll go into landscape mode and share mine.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And then let's see. Snips. I hear my voice saying snip in the beginning. And let's see yours, João. You have to go into landscape mode.
Oh, sorry. Let's go to the
There
landscape mode. I was
we
still
go.
watching our project, thinking about it. So I didn't make too many improvements. Just I decided to add a translated version in English for the speak sound. Let's see if it worked.
Olá, amigo, venha me visitar.
Oh, that's a
And
good idea.
and when you tap, it plays a music.
I'm gonna add a when tap too. I like that. Maybe we can go back to the create view. And let's see. The yellow category, right? And this is what you said, quando tocar, when tap, instead of
Exactly.
when touch. I
Yes.
think I'm gonna make him glow a random color. Yeah.
That's a nice feature.
Glow. I love glow. You can see the different colors. It was like green, kind of yellow. Nice. Okay, and then since this is an invitation, we have to send it to somebody, send it to a friend. Um, let's see. I can show the beginning. I can show the beginning of the share, and then Jerome, I don't know if you can show it like actually sharing through Slack or through an app,
Yes.
but
Yes, sure.
one way that you can, even if your friend doesn't have OctoStudio, you can send them a
Mm-hmm.
video or a GIF of your project. So in the top where there's the home button, right next to it there's the arrow button. That's the share menu. So if you tap on that and then tap on, this is in Portuguese, but the options are, record a video or create a GIF or send your project file. So we'll do the top one, which is record a video. Let's do that. I'm tapping the crab meanwhile so that it gets some nice glows. Yes. And then now processing the video. And I'll save it to my camera roll. And then from your camera roll, you can send that through any app that you use to message your friends. It can be WhatsApp, text message, Instagram, whatever you can send media through. You can also send it from here, from this menu, from the OctoStudio. You can send something directly. You see it opens up options for messages or mail or AirDrop if you have an iPhone. So that's the beginning of how you share. And then let's see maybe if João has a friend in mind that they want to invite.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna share the project file so my friend can try to remix it. So I'll choose the third option here, the send the project file. And here, the last one. Oh, I need a name for my project, right?
Sons da
Um,
Paulista. Sounds of Paulista.
Sounds of Paulista Avenue. Okay, now we have a name, and let's send the project to a friend. I'm gonna send it to a friend of mine called Natalie. Let's see.
Hmm.
Hey, come to Brazil, visit me.
Perfect.
Okay.
There's no way she can say no now.
Yeah, I hope she comes.
João, it was so lovely to hang out with you again today.
Yeah.
I'm just do one more last call in the chat for if anybody has questions while we're saying our final goodbyes. Let's see where people were discussing the backdrop and making the feature request to edit your backdrop, like be able to paint on it and stuff. That would be really
Mhm.
helpful for me too. There's a lot of times in projects where I want to be able to just make an edit to a backdrop. Oh, and Vero says, I want an invitation to João.
I send you the project later on.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Thank you, Eric, for reminding me. So, like I said, we're in the theme of celebrating where we're from. So we would love it if you would create projects, show us what's your favorite food, what's your favorite celebration where you're from, what's some part of history or some famous landmark. How would you invite a friend to come to visit you? All of these would be great to see. So share your projects on social media and tag us at OctoStudio app or hashtag OctoStudio. We would love to see what you're creating. And with that, maybe it's time to say goodbye. So thanks again, João, for taking the time. Thank everybody in the chat for joining us.
Thanks, Thais, for having me.